Hi there, this is Helen Tarrant again from NDIS. Here with our whole team. Wow, it's massive. Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Roadshow. You're here with Helen Tarrant, and I'm actually going to share with you something interesting. So we're doing an inspection here in Beenleigh. This is an off-market deal, NDIS Tenant. You can see how busy the property is when you go and visit it. There's about just on 6% yield for this, about longevity of the tenant, and this actually shows you that the strength of a tenant and the strength of a property and the building itself and the location, the area is still gentrifying, how even though we might have had interest rate rises, the yield still stays the same for good quality assets no matter when and where you're buying it. And the interesting thing is when you ride the waves, there will be a time where something like this could be negative, and you know, that's the part and parcel of, you know, riding the interest rate wave. But also, if you bought the same property, which is around just shy of 1.4 million in residential, you're going to be a lot more negative, right? This might end up, even at the height of the interest rate, say 7%, potentially, you know, negative $20 to $50 a week. Whereas if you're buying that same residential property, you'll be negative potentially $200 to $300 a week at best, right? And some people, it's more like $500 a week, right? So this is an interesting thing to pay attention to when you're looking at buying commercial property, especially when you're thinking what's going to happen with interest rate. Good quality tenants, good quality buildings, locations that's so gentrifying. It doesn't matter whether you're buying it today, 3 years from now, unless you bought 2 years ago where the yield's a little bit higher. But what we're going to see is yield compressing. So on the other side of the interest rate wave, what we're going to see is that this yield will compress from 6% to 5%, which means that there's going to be good capital gains on the back end. So let's go and have a look.
Morning everybody, here we are at 58 Manila Street, Beenleigh. It is in the morning and we're just going for a wander around. Sorry to disturb. Lots of offices, plenty of space, lots of security, which has all been put in place. This building used to be owned by the Logan City Council, and they had their offices in here. And 2 toilets, male and female. Disability is necessary. There we go. Look at that. Plenty of room. Storage. Hello. This is a little training room. See, training's working. People are working. There's a window. Lots of people working. Look at this. Industry at its finest. Data cabinet. Storage cabinet. It even has a doorbell. Photocopier. Lots more people working. Look at the industry. It's in charge. Love it. More storage. You guys look familiar. Have we been here before? More storage. And that, in a nutshell, is a loop. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Goodbye. Sorry to interrupt. Bye. Yep. Glass blocks. Lift. Front door. The premises in question. Additional toilets. Right. Public toilets or additional toilets. Lots of offices. Car park. Fire panel. Where'd the Helen go? Excellent. Accountants 360. Fun with words, speech pathology.
That's behind.
This office has 8 basement car parks.
8. Yeah. We'll go and have a look at that.
Yep.
Is it a shopping
Not one of the hotels.
You got Dan Murphy's there.
Fire systems. More tenants out the back.
Discount store.
And there's also
See if you have a quick peek up there.
Beenleigh.
They've actually been
Also faces the main street. I'll
obviously
change
had
the
a couple of glitches with some of the renter, so they fixed it.
And these are some of the tenants there.
Oh, that's the back of Helen's head.
Layout. So staff over the Southern Cross there. MMT, Cam, and
Fire stairs. I have no idea what Southern Cross do. I don't know what MMT does either. Anglicare Youth Services. One's for lease.
the area's so gentrified.
Interesting.
Okay, so
Yep.
the whole strip out of this, redoing it. Because what they've changed a lot of ways of when they did it, they used to have their office processing window downstairs. Because of funding, they're actually putting in, they're putting a new as well. So part of their operation have gone to George Street and City Road in Beenleigh, which is the main street, opposite the courthouse access.
Wow.
We go down to the left and a spider. These car parks.
The premises we're looking at now have all of these parking spots from over there, all the way around.
28 to 35. So 8 basement car parks.
8 car parking spaces. 8. For anyone who's worrying, that is good feng shui. Air conditioning room. Alright. If you thought making a video in a lift interesting was hard, try doing one in a car park. They all look pretty much the same. Look at that.
But at the moment, but it will all be done hopefully by the
The
end of the
money's
year.
already been issued.
Alright.
The money's already in.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, from what we're talking about.
Yeah, just cut out.
I don't know what happened,
Come back to.
but that television's alarmed. Alright, now we're wandering outside, have a look around the building.
This is effectively like an entrance.
So over here we have a gym. I think the overflow is a $2 type shop, and then there's a pub and a Dan Murphy's nearby. So it's quite a busy area. Imperial Hotel across the road. Beer, wine and spirits. Printer cartridges. Real estate agent. So it's actually a very busy hub, a very busy part of the world in Beenleigh. It's the entry to the pub. Butcher shop. Push bikes. That appears to be a printer's. Chemist. medical and dental. McDonald's down the end, chiropractor. Living his best life.
So what do you think? Tell me what you think. Put a post down below. Let me know if you like it, if that's the type of property you want to find now, or is that the property that you want something different. But you know, the area is Beenleigh, so this area is still gentrifying. There's still a lot of government money around because there's still lower socio-economic going to moving to a medium and upper class. So there's lots of house and land packages being sold around the area, lots of subdivisions, lots of developments coming through. The council is very active in this area, and we're getting really high rates in this area at the moment because the council putting all the initiatives in as well. So again, each to their own. This may be a property you want, or you might want a similar tenant but a little bit further. Remember how I always say tenant, whether this tenant, say if we had an NDIS tenant in regional, then you're going to get a slightly higher yield. If it's in metro, because of the location and the property type, it's going to be lower yield. But of course, a tenant like an NDIS tenant in regional, if they were to leave, it would be much harder to replace than a tenant that was an NDIS tenant if they left in metro, because a new incoming tenant, looking at the space going, it's a disability compliant, it's been fitted out, and it's got security, and it's full of the government hub. So that's where they see the need and they desire to be in the same location, right? And because the building is really all full of that government hub, you're more likely to find a government tenant. Whereas you might think buying a freestanding building in regional is great, and it is great, but you've got to look at the fact of what happens if the tenant was to vacate, and what kind of things would you need to do to make sure that you get a larger space, like 400 or so square meters, divide that up into smaller places if you're looking at the same tenant in regional. So each to their own. Let me know if this has been helpful, but in the meantime, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.